All right, so this one's about Capital One. So this is the Capital One Quicksilver One card. And this is my second card that I got. I think they sent me a letter in the mail, and this is what happens. You're going to see as you building your credit, you start getting credit, they're going to start sending you stuff in the mail too. And the reason why is because they're looking at it like this, right? Capital One is a business, Visa is a business, MasterCard, American Express, all of these companies, they're all in business, right? They want to get money too. So if they see that somebody else is loaning you a line of credit, they're going to do the same thing. Why? Because they all know and understand that most people, right, don't only use one product, right? You don't just go to CVS. You go to CVS, Walgreens. I don't know if Rite Aid is still even in existence, but you go to Rite Aid, you go to Walmart, right? These companies know this. This is why CVS pulls up on one side of the corner and Walgreens is on the other side. Same thing with Burger King, Wendy's. When you drive down the street and you see a McDonald's, you keep driving, there's going to be a Wendy's or Burger King. Why? Because they know and understand that people like options. We like options. We don't want to feel tied down, right? We've been tied down too long. So Capital One sends me a credit card approval. Now, remember, at this point, I got my first card in April back in 2015, and I think I got this card around like June, right? So about 2-3 months went by, and they sent me this offer. Now, this isn't one of those offers where they were like, spend $2,000, you get any money. You got to build yourself up, get your credit good, and then they start throwing those hooks at you, right? Because they try and hook you in. They know you're a big fish, or you potentially gonna be a big fish. So they want you to establish a relationship with them early. So for $200, if they could pull you in as a customer, but then on the backside, maybe you pay your bill late a couple times over the next 10 years, they get their $200 back. Maybe you don't pay your bill in full, and they collect interest off that, right? So it's real simple stuff. Now, with the Quicksilver Capital One card, this wasn't a secure card. So this is the reason why I took it. I went from having to put money up to get credit to 3 months later, not having to put any money up. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I went and got the card. Okay, cool. I think my initial line of credit probably was like $700. It wasn't over $1,000. And this card currently is at $5,500. Now, I know and understand that Capital One is notorious for giving like semi-new people credit. The problem is they suck to me. This is just to me. They suck. They don't. My limit is still 5,500. Right? I'm telling you, like, I'm an individual who over the past maybe 2 or 3 years, my credit score has been like 780. How do I only have a 5,500 line of credit, right? Not to mention there's cars that I got after this. Matter of fact, every car that I got after this, except for one, except for the Tomo, I got higher limits. Even the Home Depot car, how do I got? That doesn't make any sense to me. And every time I reach out to them, they either say, oh, I'm not using the card enough, or they're saying my other card has too high of a balance. It's always an excuse. So I'm at a point where I don't even ask anymore. Just is what it is. I utilize this card every once in a blue, maybe to buy like tickets to a concert or something like that. And for the most part, I got my daughter on this card as an authorized user. But they just recently sent me an offer, $100 for every person that I send the link out to, and they actually apply for this card and get it. I haven't sent anybody the link. I'm gonna post the link with the video, but to be honest with you, from my experience, this card hasn't done me justice. It hasn't. Outside of it being like the first legit card that I didn't have to put any money up, it didn't do me any justice. But I guess a little $5,500 balance does help my credit utilization percentage, and I'll talk about that as well. But for the most part, Quicksilver, yeah. That's another thing with this card too. You gotta watch out. Sometimes you gotta read the fine print. No, let me not say sometimes. You gotta read the fine print, or at the very least, you need to Google whatever card it is that you're trying to get. And the reason being is because you're gonna find out information and interesting things. Not every card is the same. First and foremost, the interest rate is different. Now, one thing that I like to do, I like to pay all my bills off by the due date, so I don't have to pay any interest. Right? That's a very smart move. Now, the key also is to pay on time every month. The reason being is because this is what they do. let's say you got $100 balance, and let's say your interest rate is 20%. So that means if you don't pay the $100 in full, let's say you got $120 balance and you pay $20, but your interest rate is 20%. So you leave $100 balance going into the next month. Now, theoretically, what that means is the next month you're going to owe $120, which is cool. You know, you got 20% interest and you borrowed the $100 for an extra month. Okay. The problem is, let's say you paid $120 off. So you paid $120 in full. Now, the $120 is going to go into like 2 more weeks. The next 2 weeks is going to be when you paid $120. The problem is they're still going to charge you interest up until you get the account to zero, which doesn't make sense to me. And the only reason why they charge you interest is because you have to have 2 consecutive bill cycles where your balance is zero. Otherwise, you pay interest on a daily basis. Yeah, it's not the best product out there, but it's the second product that I got. And like I said, I started off with 700. I got 5,500. So they do give increases. It just ain't like that first one I got, that 1,500 to 16,000. Yeah, that's a big difference. So I'm gonna tap into the next credit card, and yeah, hopefully, you know, like I said, I'm just sharing my journey. It's just my information on how I went from no credit, you know what I'm saying, to knowing what to do with credit. Oh, I like that. I went from no credit to knowing what to do with credit. I like that. All right, man. Peace.